I understand that there are a lot of wrestling clubs and they're selling the puppy mill dream to parents, and I get that, and there's not that there's nothing wrong with it, because there is, but I understand. All right. If you walk into a room, if you walk into a wrestling room, and there's 40 kids in there, and there's 1 or 2 coaches, your kid will get better now, but they're actually making themselves worse in the long run. I'll explain. Number one, there's no attention to the kids. Okay, meaning if the room that has 40 kids in it is a technique night, you can't expect the 2 coaches that are in there to take care of 20 kids apiece. It's just unrealistic. So let's assume that they learned next to nothing. And if they're doing something wrong, now the best case scenario is that the best, and there's a dichotomy there, because the best and worst case scenario is that they do it well enough, whatever the technique is, they do it well enough to score with it, right? But they might not be doing it correctly. And if they wrestle somebody that maybe as an adult is just as strong as them, or maybe is better than the partner that they're wrestling with, or whatever the case may be, now all of a sudden that negative action, that flaw in the technique that was overlooked because there was 70 million kids in the room is now a habit. And then that habit has been formed over years upon years upon years of just being in a room with 40 kids and having no attention to detail from coaches. So that's first and foremost. If what we found with youth wrestling, especially like the real young kids, when I say real young, I mean like from ages like 6 to like 10, you know, like before elementary school, the kids that win these major national tournaments and things like that are generally just the most aggressive kids. So it has more to do with their personality and athleticism than it does with any type of coaching. Once again, the best and worst case scenario just happened, right? You get let's call him an 8-year-old, right? An 8-year-old that thinks that he's doing well in wrestling. By that I mean they're doing really well, right? So parents say, well, how do I get my kid to the next level? Well, you get your kid to the next level by bringing them to the club. That's where the good advice stops. Because yes, you should be going to a club. So then you go to one club and there's only 6 kids in the room, and then you go to another club and there's 40 kids in the room. And the one with 40 kids in the room is going to make your kid better tomorrow. No question. Okay? But the real problem lies in that your kid is going to get better right now, and they're going to get better by being aggressive, by being just more physically adept than the other kids, and they're going to do it at a national level. So here's a kid that's 8 years old that goes to your club down the street with 40 hammers in the room, and then all of a sudden that kid goes out and has a ton of success before the age of 12, right? But the technique that he's learning is not great. He has a false sense of value in his wrestling abilities, because once you hit high school and dudes get hair on their face, everyone's aggressive. And then they have a false sense of security when it comes to, or false expectations, really. I have 2 kids right now that are doing it. They're sophomores in high school, and they're coming back to me going, man, I would really wish I would have learned how to wrestle, because they didn't know how to wrestle. They learned how to win. They learned, and granted, that's a skill. Learning how to win is a skill for sure, but learning how to wrestle is way harder. Learning how to win is easy. I mean, not that it's easy. You know, it's easier. It's way easier than learning how to wrestle. Learning how to wrestle is really multifaceted. It's really dynamic. It changes all the time. It's really, really complex. So if you need to have the absolute best workout partners for your 8-year-old, understand that you're mortgaging the future. You're mortgaging the future of your kid's wrestling career.